Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, fair people, fellow sentient beings and whatnot. I hope you're all well, or not too bad anyway. And this is me, Robin, returning after a break of far too long with another YouTube video. Woohoo! So I've been not very well. I've been doing lots of trying to get myself together, and I've kind of just got drenched in stuff and life and not doing very much. ADHD, mental health, the lockdown causing lots of stress, well, as it does for everybody, I suppose, but it kind of with me just got to a point where it was really rather blur. Anyway, we're back on the boat now. We've got some interesting footage to perhaps, quote unquote, interesting footage to show you. Well, more than just sitting beside the river anyway. So, I've returned from London, where I spent most of the lockdown. I've returned to fill up my water tank, empty the toilet tank, put some diesel in, and then I'll go and, as the video title might suggest, I'm going to take the boat to a dry dock and I'm going to have it blacked. Now, here we're just passing Castle Marina. On the right hand side there's lots of moorings which are owned by Castle Marina, even though they're on the line, so you can't moor there. It is just not possible. If you want to moor up in this area, then the best area to moor up is just a bit further after that bridge you can see coming up, which is just like a 48, no, the moorings after that bridge, which are 14-day moorings. They are right next to Sainsbury's. You've got close access into town, and there are generally quite a lot of boaters around, so it's not guaranteed to be safe, as nothing is guaranteed to be safe, but it's quite a nice spot to moor. There's not too many random people wandering around as there are in other places. So yeah, that's probably the best place to. I spent a couple of nights there this time round before I headed back up to the dry dock, and I was slept quite well. It's quite a nice place. I've slept there before, so yeah, well, real recommended. You can just see it after that white boat. I do apologise for the camera quality at this stage, because I really didn't have a good camera. This camera that I'm using here was like £2 from a camera shop spare parts bin, so the fact that it worked and I could actually use it to mount on a very lightweight tripod and on the front of the boat was way. Anyway, now we're turning right into Castle Marina, which has the most horrible entrance, especially when you've got a 68-foot long boat. And there's a bit of a bump coming up. Oh, I think that was it there. And now we've got just showing the front of the pub, which is going into Castle Marina. The pub is rather empty, as pubs hadn't opened by that point, and it's kind of nice, because normally you get a crowded view, people watching you make a fluff of that entrance. Now we're just being pulled into the dry dock. On the right hand side, just there, you can see there those black pilings are. That's where the River Leen goes underneath the canal, and also it is where the old Nottingham Canal joins the Beeston Cut, which is where this section we're on here is the Nottingham Canal, and past that is the Beeston Cut, which all become one, whereas the Nottingham Canal used to go past up towards Queen's Medical Centre and up that way. So that's kind of like a bit of old canal history there. And now the river is going underneath and is a good way lower, so that means that this dry dock can operate. On the right hand side down there now, you can see, just as we're going past it, you can see the actual dry dock gate. The dry dock gate is just floats there when it's not being used, when it's not holding back considerable quantities of water. And it's a nice little gate. Anyway, back to the dodgy camera, and we're going to go into the dry dock. You can see that a little drawbridge type thing there, which I'll explain the purpose to in a second. This is like a little undercover dry dock bit now. We're just putting along, being pulled in, with people grabbing ropes, and that is not much. That's pretty much all there is to it at the moment. It's a nice little dry dock. We've got clear fiberglass panels, let some light in, but not vastly enough for, well, not enough for the solar panels anyway. So we've got a mains hookup while I'm here. This mains hookup will keep me going while I'm here. And I didn't actually have to put any money in the thing because it was a nice rate, and I don't use a lot of electricity anyway. I mean, typically I don't run with a fridge, and I don't use a lot of electricity. I spend all my time on the boat offline, off-grid. All my electricity comes from solar panels. Well, it does up until this point anyway, because one of the bits of work I'm having done on the boat is to rectify that, so I can actually use the engine to charge the main leisure bank up. Now sort of like we just sort of like got to the front, and because this boat is 68 foot long and Hedwick takes up a fair bit of room, we've got the nose poking out of the covered bit, and the stern, when you come, well, I don't know if I'll show it to you on the videos, I might have been too focused on other things. The stern pokes out from underneath the covered bit. So now we're just going to look at the gate back into its proper position. It sits there and holding back all the water. They open the sluice gate and the water then goes out and it flows into the River Leen, which then flows into the River Trent. The River Trent at that point is a good way lower. So this dry dock effectively acts as in the same manner as a big lock. It has a sluice gate to let the water in, it has a sluice gate to let the water out, and it has it doesn't have a swing gate, but it has a gate to stop the high level of water getting back in. And that little drawbridge type pontoon thing you see coming down there is not really to do anything apart from to tie a boat up to and stop people knocking the gate, because if someone was to knock the gate when it was dry, it would be, oh yeah, let's say if someone was to knock it, it wouldn't be very good. So yeah, anyway, now you can see that the boat is now settled down. It's not actually floating anymore. Well, it was not floating a few seconds ago, but we'll see. I'll edit this so we've got the boat has stopped floating and we've got the water going down, 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 down. And its footage is sped up quite a bit, as you might have guessed, because this did take a little bit of time. It wasn't that long actually, but longer than I'd like to keep a YouTube video, because, well, apparently YouTube videos shouldn't be too long, and if it was too long people wouldn't watch it and people get bored, because it's just me talking over a bit of footage of the boat. It's perhaps I'll do a longer video of just pootling along the canal, full length uncut at some point, but I don't know if anyone would actually watch it. My channel hasn't got very many videos on it anyway. Right, now you can see we've got the actual gate, where the sluice gate, where the actual water goes out into the river. It collects a bit of weed, so they have to keep cleaning it. There's the actual sluice gate, where used to let water back in when you wanted to refloat the boats and get them out again. And that's pretty much how the dry dock works. It's sitting there with bit of water and still going in, so because you can never, it's not easy to get a perfect watertight seal, I suppose. And now we're just going to have a look around. We're going to have a look around, and yes, you can see the boat is now well out of the water, even though there's a few inches of water left in the dry dock. That will take its time draining out, so we won't sit and watch that. We'll just cut to a little shot of the boat out of the water. First the side, then the back, and the front, and we'll have and you can see it needed to come out and have a bit of a wash. So the first job was to get the pressure washer out and spray it with lots of water at high pressure, and that revealed the bare paint, which was last painted in 2013, and it actually hasn't turned out too badly, because the paint that was on it was meant to last sort of like 7 to 10 years, and 7 years, so it had lasted reasonable. I'm quite happy with that. Anyway, catch you later, folks. I'll try and get the next episode of this out, because there's more in this boat blacking business than just pressure washing, so I will catch you next time. Have fun. Catch you later. Bye.